Alistair was born without his sense of hearing. Doctors diagnosed him as deaf, but there was something else. We'll get into Alistair's story in a few. Hey there! In part 1, we went through an introduction to gamification, and I shared a personal story on how gamification has helped me in my career. If you did not get to watch it, you can do so through this link. In part 2, you will get to learn about gamification solutions from the global south with examples from a couple of African countries and Mexico. Before we proceed, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to know when the next animated video comes out. Gamification example number 1. Enseña la seña by Catalina de la Rocha. Let's begin with a quick story. Alistair was born without his sense of hearing. Doctors diagnosed him as deaf, but there was something else. He was different from other hearing impaired children, hyperactive and unable to grasp sign language. His caregiver, Angela, felt like she had failed him. One day, his teacher planned a trip to the mall and Angela panicked, but the teacher was sure her method would work. So 3 days before the trip, she realized that in order to penetrate Alistair's defenses, she needed to give him information on what was going to happen to him. They showed him images of the things he would experience on that day. An image of getting into the car, driving to the mall, arriving at the mall, browsing through the stores, getting back to the car, driving back to school, and then going back home. Alistair was unusually calm on the day they went to the mall. Unlike other times, he did not go running around touching everything. He knew what was going on, he had information, and that gave him peace. Through Alistair's story, Catalina came to the conclusion that not every person diagnosed with the same disability needs the same treatment. So every design solution has to be flexible to fulfill the custom user's needs. And what better way than through gamification? In the previous video, we defined gamification and how it could be the key to transforming lives. A fine example of gamification is Enseña la seña by Catalina de la Rocha, a Mexican woman who came up with a solution that teaches hearing families and friends Mexican Sign Language. Catalina used visual elements that were understandable to both hearing and unhearing players, therefore bridging the gap between sign language and written language. Enseña la seña also incorporates sign writing and augmented reality, thus creating a three-dimensional experience on sign language. Coming up with uniquely tailor-made solutions goes a long way to positively impacting people's lives, just like Alistair's life was transformed. Gamification example number 2, My Jolie. My Jolie was launched by Wendi Art in Ghana. It is a gamification solution that educates Ghanaian youth about sexual health issues, as you can see in the brief illustration. Gamification example number 3, Ananse the Teacher. Ananse the Teacher is an app that makes reading and learning STEM, that is, sciences, technology, engineering, arts and mathematics, fun while promoting Ghanaian culture and identity. Notice the inclusion of the arts, which are usually left out in the STEM acronym as we know it. Go ahead and respond using just one word in the chat section below on what your favorite subject in STEM is. Gamification example number 4, Hello Nurse. Hello Nurse is another game by Wendi Art that helps trainee midwives and nurses diagnose and treat malaria in partnership with the Ministry of Health in Ghana and sponsored by USAID. Hello Nurse is a two-chapter interactive story covering malaria prevention, diagnosis, and case management for pre-service nurses. It is part of a series of e-learning tools being used by USAID's flagship maternal and child survival program to strengthen malaria health services, focused on components around strengthening and building the capacity of pre-service institutions. Gamification example number 5, Moraba. Moraba is an app that was created by Afros based in South Africa and in Kenya. The aim of the app was to empower the young by teaching them gender concepts such as date rape, statutory rape, and legal age of consent. The other thing it taught was action. What do you do when your friend is raped? What are the things that you need to be aware of? Some of the questions were built around those themes. With Moraba, they were able to track the sexual education of young South Africans, highlighting areas where there was lack of knowledge, for example, the age of consent, and then using this to influence the Ministry of Education to focus on the basics of sexual health. This video series is inspired by a piece I wrote for Games Industry Africa. To read about more gamification solutions from Africa, follow the link in the description. Those have been the 5 gamification solutions from the Global South. What other gamification solutions do you know?